Happy Father's Day, ladies and gentlemen. Today's very special Father's Day message was brought to you by Jesus, also by the letter W, as in the Waxahachie Athletic Department, who earlier this year cut both my boys from their baseball teams. Just take a deep breath. That was a rough day, right? And baseball isn't everything, and if that's my biggest problems in life, then I got it pretty good, which, it's not my only problems in life, but it's a big deal. It's a big deal because it's a big deal to them, and if it's a big deal to them, they love something, man, then, it's a big deal to me. And that's unfortunate, Many parents would say, it's time to move on, let it go, or, hey, go play kick the ball, Anybody can do that. That's not going to happen. No, we built a 90-foot batting cage in their backyard, got a pitching machine, man, and, got a gym membership, and we are just going to bust our ass until tryouts next year. I guarantee you. They're going to remember Daniel and Dylan. And if they don't make it, man, hey, at least we know we left it all out on the field, man. I don't see that happening, man. We don't lose around here. But for their sake, I wanted to let them know that there are a few intangibles that they missed, man. And you guys missed when you cut these two. These two are something special, man. They are something that, like, I don't know how to describe it, man. They're like amazing kids, and that's despite, me and their crazy, mom, that's the best I can say right now, is they are amazing despite of us, they have something, man, that you just can't teach, right? It's like, it's learned, but it's like a way of life, man. It's something that's in here, it comes from, a life of humility, of learning to think about others before themselves, right? It comes from, this little rainbow bright looking character that used to tell us, that there's no junior Holy Spirit, right? And the same power that originated in Jesus, same power that casts out demons, man, lives in our kids, right? It exists in our kids. There's no, like, hey, this is just a junior Holy Spirit, and you can only do this much stuff, until you're like big enough, don't work like that, man. These kids have fed, clothed, anointed, and served and shared God's love story with thousands of homeless people. Like thousands. I think I'm kidding, man. The best way I can describe, like the kind of kids they are, man, is tell you this a story, man. And this happened not too long ago, man. We moved out to Texas, and this was our first Indian Guides camp out. If you don't know what Indian Guides is, Indian Guides and Indian Princesses is a father-daughter, father-son program where, basically you're hooked up with a bunch of other dads and their boys, and you go out, on a camp out once a month. Or, we do a lot of the same stuff that Boy Scouts do, but we do it without, like, trying to make them little mini cops. Like we have all the same fun, but without, all the merit badges and the hierarchy and probably less. I'm not even gonna go there. It's Father's Day. Come on, Randy. Let's be decent. Boy Scouts aren't that bad. Anyways, so we're going to our first camp out, right? And long since have we had that talk where, like, hey, man, don't do anything stupid, don't embarrass me, whatever. The concern is usually on me. But, we do have a conversation, man. We talk about being kingdom-minded, man, and having eyes to see and ears to hear, man, and always be looking for, where you can help somebody, man. My kids see homeless people. They're like, hey, look, that could be Jesus. Cool, let's go talk to him, That's, that would be, that's ideal, man. I think that's how I want them thinking. That, like, I've spent most of my life, pointing the finger and blaming other people, and being concerned with everybody else, but if we can shift that focus, man, the best things I've ever done in life are done when I'm getting out of myself and I'm helping somebody else, right? So the focus is always, look for places, where you can, be that light, man, and be that love, right? And so let's flash forward to Saturday night. So it's Saturday night, and some amazing wise sage came out with this swing, and swing is like a death missile, right? It's one of those things where it has like a 50-foot, rope, and it's attached to a tree branch, right? And it's fun for like 20 minutes, and then it turns into a death missile, right? Because that's what little boys do when you give them stuff like that, right? This particular kid, who will go nameless, was just told by his dad, stop screwing around and, stop throwing the swing at people, because they were swinging back and forth. Sure enough, I'm standing in line, about to eat some dinner, and we hear this loud, like, shriek, right? And this poor kid, man, he had busted his face, man, and blood was everywhere, man. He caught that thing right in his upper lip, man, and to add insult to injury, his dad was not excited that he had just told him, to stop doing what he was doing, and so, I mean, like, he got this kid who's just, he was not having a good night, to say the least, man. He looked like somebody had just shit in his Wheaties, and I noticed that, like we had a term, it's called one of 100 dads. And the idea is that anytime when you're out there on one of these campouts, there's like 100 other dads, and and their boys, and we're split up into different tribes, but we're all part of the same group. And the idea is, if some guy from a different tribe, comes and he's playing with our kids, and then scrapes his knee or busts his head or something, man, I'm gonna fix him up, and kind of send him on his way. If somebody's lost or something like that, and they identify you as a part of the nation, then it's like you're his dad at the moment, right? And so you constantly, are thinking about, other people's kids, and keeping your head on swivel, making sure that everybody's safe, because you got a lot of kids just running around. So, I mean, with that in mind, I had my eye on this kid as he was sitting there with his ice pack on his mouth, just looking, looking really upset, and I made a mental note, as soon as the guy that was talking to me was done, I was gonna whistle for Daniel and Dylan, right? And tell them, like, hey, why don't you go talk to this kid, man, and kid you not, man, like a minute later, when the guy was finished saying what he was saying, I was like, hey, hold that thought real quick. And before I could even whistle, man, I look up, and guess who's already, they're already on it, man. They saw what I saw, and nobody had to tell them, they walked over, man, and within just a few minutes, man, they had them laughing, right? And they had other people kind of joining in and joking around, and and it was no big deal, man. And there were a lot of kids, man. There was probably 15, 20 kids around, and there was a bunch of adults too. And this isn't a slight against any of them. I don't know what anybody saw. I don't know what everybody else's circumstance was. All I know is that there's 2 kids that went to minister to that kid. Those kids are mine. Both mine. I would take that over the winning home run, to win the championship game any day. I would take that over much straight A's or a scholarship to university. I'd take that over being valedictorian. Right? As a matter of fact, there's nothing in this life that I would rather have than my kids who have hearts for others. Because that will serve them long after this is forgotten. If you don't have this, what's the point of having that? What is a profit, man? To gain the whole world, but lose his own soul. And I can't speak for you or yours, right? But those two are mine. that's what you pass on. You cut them, right? I can win a championship with a team full of kids like that, and all day long. Those kids don't know when to quit. They don't know how to quit. They don't know how to let go. They love something, they let it go. Right? I can work with that. I'd rather have that than a bunch of divas that are more physically inclined, but are just more concerned about themselves and their own glory. These kids are about the glory of the King and advancing the kingdom. I would take that any over anything else. I would love to take credit. I would love to say, I did. Right? But I would, shit. Like I said, this can't be taught. This is learned. This is, a village. This is a result of, the batshit crazy, and grandma and Abby and a legend named Papa. This is for, little rainbow bright family directors, right? And men that have come alongside me and sharpened. These are for, all the dads that should be. Hey, Mr. Moon Guy, check me out, dude. Told you we'd be all right. Told you I'd be a pastor one day. I don't know why nobody believed me. This is for the Schulteises and the Madigans, and everybody in between, man. Look at what we did, man. Look at the kids that we are presenting to the world, as young men, as representatives of the I Am. That is better than any Father's Day gift I could have ever gotten. So for Father's Day, Daniel, Dylan, Timmy, thanks. Thank you for that, man. Thank you for allowing me to be, the one that takes credit for that. I'm sure others would say, it's all Parisa, man. They're probably right, man, but I still get to take credit for it. Those two. Anyway. I love you guys. Happy Father's Day.